Is God in the center of your marriage? That's the question. Because if he's not, today is a different day to be married. People can get divorced for just irreconcilable differences. People can get divorced simply because of inconveniences. It's no longer a threat on your life or adultery that justifies divorce anymore. They can just get tired of you and leave now. You know, back in the day, we call it back in the day, many of the parents had, 11 and 12 children, and the father went to work and the mom many times wasn't able to do much work or bring in much money, so she stayed home and kept the kids, and parents will stay together for those types of reasons. But today, God has got to be in the center of your marriage. And if he's not, then your marriage might be on shaky ground. He's at the apex of the wedge. I always like to point it out like this. This is God at the top. Here is you, and here is your spouse at the bottom. And your plight is to go after God. If he goes after God and she goes after God, the closer they get to God, the closer they get to one another. As you can see, the gap narrows. And that's keeping Jesus or God in the center of your relationship. Meaning, at every interval, the Word of God says, acknowledge him, he'll direct your path. That's what Christian marriages have to do in order to be a success and sustain themselves over the years. It's like, what would Jesus do would be the question. How should I respond to my wife, even though it seems she's ornery or she's done some things that got me tripping today? Or how should I respond to my husband, even though I just don't know what to think about this man and what he just said? Well, what does the Word say? That's what it's all about. So that's keeping God in the center of your relationship. He has to be there. Come together at night and pray together. Pray in the morning together. Come together and go after God. Intercede on behalf of your family, your marriage, your children. Keep God in the center of the relationship. You cannot go out to carnal ways or use secular humanistic philosophies to try to keep your marriage going today. That is not strong enough. It'll fail. But he whose house is built on the rock, which is the Word of God, it'll stand no matter how much the winds beat vehemently against it or the torrential rains can fall. The wind can blow and so forth, but your house will not topple. Your marriage will not topple if it's built on the rock, which is the Word of God. So you have to keep God in the center of your marriage in order for it to thrive and survive. It's a wonderful life, but we got to do it right. We got to play according to the manual, and God gave us a manual. Put them in the center. Husbands, love your wives like Christ loved the church. It'll work. It works every time. Yes, it does.